Hello, everyone. My name is Mitch Dyer. Welcome to ign-arena episode 19. James Faulkner.
I just dropped my phone.
Dropping your phone. Kyle O'Connor.
What's up?
Thank
I
you for
did
joining
not
us.
drop my phone.
No, you're responsible. You're a legitimate adult.
I have pockets.
One of few in this room.
This NPC is Brian Albert.
The ghost of Brian Albert. He cannot be with us today. He had a good time yesterday and is now busy doing other things. So, James.
Hello.
Should be a short show this week.
Yeah.
Not a ton to talk about, but what we do have is really good. We had two big tournaments this weekend.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about two of them. Let's talk about IEM San Jose.
Yeah.
We all went. We
Yes.
met people from IGN there.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
from IGN, but like IGN fans.
Yeah.
We're from IGN.
Yeah. We, you and I, you went both days. Kyle went both days.
Yes.
You went Saturday and Sunday. You saw the whole thing.
Yeah,
James and I
I-
popped down Saturday to check out a bit of the beginning. Watched a bit of League, watched a bit of StarCraft.
I would have liked to go both days, but
too.
my kitchen flooded.
Yeah,
That's
real
an
life
actual thing that
got
happened.
Yeah.
Excuses. What a casual.
Yeah. I'm sorry that I just like I was like drowning and I was like, oh no, my kitchen. No.
It's
Got it the
unacceptable.
other games.
Uh,
So that was my first ever League of Legends tournament.
Yeah.
I've never been to any live League event.
It's my first eSports event.
Interesting. So what did you make of it?
I had a blast. I had a really good time. I actually met up with Anna from ESL, and I got to go backstage, and I got to see a whole bunch behind the scenes. It was a really, really good time. The amount of production that goes into it is just staggering. Apparently, they got there like Friday in the morning, real early in the morning, and had it all set up by end of day.
yeah, because there was like a Sharks game I think the night before.
really?
Before the
Yeah.
I saw a bunch
So
of
they
people.
had to take out the ice and they
Yeah.
had to,
Yeah.
Well, I think at that point I think they just cover it up.
You take out the ice every time.
You really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know because you're Canadian.
Yeah. I put ice on a rink before.
Oh wow.
Is that like a rite of passage in Canada? You are now a man, Mitch.
Yeah, it's how I become a man.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was at the
Anyway.
it was at the SAP Center in San Jose.
Yep.
Yeah.
We saw Unicorns of Love, who had just qualified in the expansion tournament for EU LCS.
And they were the fan vote to get in, I think.
Yeah, their fan vote to get in, and they beat TSM.
So yeah, that was the big thing. Like I don't know these teams. Like I
Yeah.
didn't know that they narrowly made it in. I didn't know that Team Solo Mid was like the hometown hero, the team that everybody
They
loves.
life.
And like that series was awesome.
Yeah.
That was the first time I've ever watched a Pro League series and like really paid attention to what was happening. And it was like they were next level. That they were doing stuff in the same way like when I watched TI4, they were doing stuff that I didn't know you could do.
People were comparing them to Moscow 5. I don't know if you guys.
That's an older team.
Yeah, like a very a season 1 team who were just pulled stuff from nowhere. Like the first game that we saw from them had a jungle TF.
That's actually what I think threw Bjergsen off in mid lane,
Yeah.
because he thought he was going against TF, and he was playing Xerath, I
Yeah.
believe, and it was
Yeah.
just, oh my god, that was amazing.
Yeah, like the first kill of the game was
level 2.
was a level 2 gank where he came out of one of the bushes in mid lane and
Flash.
flash yellow card, and he was like, oh, and you're dead.
Yeah.
Because like Xerath is like super immobile, like he's like a siege champion, and Bjergsen got like no
Big
ki-
fat robot.
Yeah. Oh no, he's energy.
Like an energy being,
He's like,
kind of.
"Ah,"
Yeah,
like-
he's.
Yeah, and
It was so good, and their whole rotations through the jungle were really good. That flash TF in the beginning with the stun was just completely put it off on tilt. It was such an entertaining game to see.
Yeah, I didn't really understand Twisted Fate as a character, and when James explained it, I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Why would you ever put him in a jungle? This
Well,
is the dumbest.
Yeah,
but it works.
He was abusing the. A lot of the jungle mobs have a 10 limit soft reset.
Yep.
So he'd engage them and then go in soft reset where their health wouldn't regenerate, and then get them again. So he never really took damage. It was just super awesome to watch.
It's kind of in Dota. It's kind of like pulling where you can't really stack camps, but you can have them go out to a certain point, and then they'll start walking back, and if you attack them again, they'll start coming back towards you. So you basically just juggle them. You basically
funny.
just juggle the animation so you don't take damage. Is what it is. And after 10 of them, it will hard reset and they will start regaining health. So you have to kill them before
It's nice that there's a system in place for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really interesting to watch. I just liked it because they were, I don't know, they're doing new stuff. They were like trying new metas.
Yep.
They made it really entertaining.
They played Hecarim top and in the grand final, I think it was.
And Lux mid.
Lux mid, yeah.
Well, which isn't that weird, but
Lux
you don't
mid
see
is
it.
actually pretty good right now.
Yeah, but you don't see it in a tournament very often.
Yeah.
And I like that they played on the new patch, the 420 patch. And my expectations weren't very high with that, but it was good to see that they like really took advantage of the whole new jungle system.
Yep.
It made it really entertaining to watch.
Yep.
All the objective, like it became like hugely based on objectives. That was just awesome.
Yeah, we'll get to something like there's 4.21 patch notes
Yeah.
coming up.
But
Yeah.
yeah, IEM was amazing. Cloud9 won it, which was really cool.
Yep. Although they struggled a little bit.
Did we see any C9 games?
I
think we arrived
We
during
arrived
those
at the
They only
end
lost
there.
one round.
Wow.
Yeah, but they didn't look at it like they. I always feel like C9 is so dominant. Like they just are always like perfect, and they were on tilt a little bit, and then they just came back and won.
Well, yeah, their individual talent and their like mechanical prowess on the whole team. It's just astounding,
phenomenal.
Yeah, it was really really good. Like they had the double ADC, and they're trying to figure out, oh, I need an AD mid, and apparently High was like, well, yeah, you know, I kind of I've played Corki mid, and they did it, and he was just amazing.
Yep.
It was really 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 good.
His response to that was really good too. When he was interviewed on stage, like, "Why'd you do this?" He's like, "Well, I've played Corki before. I like him."
yeah, just like,
All right, dude.
oh, that's really cool.
Good thoughts.
Other cool stuff. The ARAM, they did the celebrity ARAM with
So
Hotshot
much.
and Reggie and
Saint Vicious.
Saint Vicious, a bunch of different people, and they had 6 casters.
Oh my god.
It was
Which
really
was like
entertaining.
4 too many casters.
was
And that's the whole. It was basically it's a joke match. So
Yeah.
like they were all laughing about it because
$10,000 joke match.
yeah, $10,000 joke match.
Jesus.
But it was great because basically they were like, oh, let's do it Korean style, which is basically you yell out ability names as they're doing it. So in ARAM, it's just everyone's throwing out down their abilities at once, and then it was fun to watch. I recommend going back to watch that match.
Yeah, it was just a good time. Like, just the whole event was really good. I really liked everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Like, actually at the live event, everything that was going down on the floor was really
Yeah, the
cool.
presentation was really cool. There was just a lot to see and do. Like, aside from the tournament, there were like stations set up. You could go like play League if you'd never done that before. There were other game stations from sponsors, and just the aesthetics of it was really nice. Like the production value was really high. It was a really impressive event. ESL nailed it.
Yeah, I thoroughly really enjoyed it, and especially I got to go backstage. And I got to meet, I met the owner of Cloud9. I saw Reckless, and came over and talked to us. It was just really, really interesting to see the backstage stuff. That really blew my mind. Like the amount of production. Like there was just, those little transport boxes. Like those transport boxes.
Yeah.
They were just everywhere. And I was like, how the heck did you do this in one day? Get that all set up. It's really
Efficiency.
cool.
Production efficiency.
More efficiency than you and I will ever know.
Yeah, seriously.
You watched a little bit of StarCraft as well?
I went and looked in it, but
Yeah.
I was way too invested.
See,
in
I
League.
liked their setup. Like StarCraft stuff is always just like very similar to League stuff, right? Like one player on the one side, one player on the other, red, blue lighting. It's all
Yeah.
very nice. But like again, we watched this and I was so bored.
Yes.
So bored of StarCraft 2 multiplayer.
Well, it's all the same stuff. Like I feel like the meta on that hasn't ever changed for me.
When the game we watched was a early game. It was what, like 10 minutes?
It was a
Maybe.
little over 10 minutes, yeah.
Probably like 15, maybe 20 max. But this game was like super early, and this guy got rolled in the very beginning. And it wasn't even interesting to watch him lose so badly early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like I think the parts that we are missing are the very specific micro stuff.
Oh
that
yeah,
we
yeah.
had.
Like the fact that he messed up a micro and that cost him a ton of drones.
Yeah.
Like that's interesting. But like watching it and just being like, oh, 2 fire bats came in and started messing stuff up, and then
Fire
they left,
bats.
and then they came
Yeah.
back in, and then they left. Like it's just not super interesting to watch that kind of game. And I don't debate that StarCraft is interesting and that StarCraft has really excellent, esports quality. It's just really not for me.
I tend to like the old style of Terran Siege, where you both have a bunch of siege tanks, and it was small, you had basically lines of siege tanks, and then you just had hit and run around that. So it was
Yeah.
basically you had front lines. I get annoyed at early game StarCraft because it's just well, I just got you out, and then I'm going to push into your base. And that's not everything. That's what
That's a style, yeah.
a style that I have seen.
Yeah, I hate that.
Sometimes I don't watch
And that
it a
was the
lot.
one game we watched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one game we watched.
Have you guys ever seen top level StarCraft player their APM in person?
It's crazy.
It blew my mind when I saw it, and it just looked like the guy's playing piano. He's just going so fast. I can't even think that fast. And the guy's playing
No.
a game. It blows my mind.
I can't type English sentences as
Yeah.
quickly as those dudes can. Open the forge, upgrade the zealot armor.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that takes me half an hour.
To micromanage their armies. Yeah.
I'm just gonna blow your mind. We're all never gonna be esports players because we're
What?
too old.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
They're-
26, and that's just like,
No,
it's too late now.
I mean, they're actually Dota players tend to be a little bit older.
Well,
yeah.
I read on Reddit there's a surprising study that you don't. It's not your ability to perform that suffers when you get older. It's the obligations you get that come with getting older.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
you. I mean, you don't want to travel the world and play Dota full time when you're like, man, I would kind of like to meet somebody and have a family. And
Yeah,
raise a
exactly.
child."
Yeah, that was the study. I don't know. I didn't look too deep in it. I don't know how accurate it is, but that's what their verdict was. It's not that like you can't perform at that
Yeah,
level.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, again, we'll also see in the next 20 years whether that it becomes a super commercially viable business where someone can be a pro player for a very long time. And there are people like that, like who've been doing it for like over 10 years. But it's very rare. It's very, very rare.
I think lots of people that aren't into esports in the office are getting tired of me talking about it, but I'm really excited about the state of esports in North America. Like, what's it called? Twitch just bought.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're
I'm
getting
sorry.
there.
But like, that's just exciting. This is happening in North America. It's been big
Yeah.
in the Eastern countries and in like European countries, but now it's coming here, and that's awesome.